What's up guys, welcome back for another YgoPro duel video. Next match, Cross-Banlist Cup. We have new group D. We have Tengu plans from back in 2011. I think the deck has been featured in like every tournament until now, but I agree with a lot of people that this was definitely one of the most fun formats, skillful formats, but yeah, Tengu plans at its finest, as you see here. This should be Billy Breaks back-to-back winning YCS list. And then the second deck list we have Gladiator Beasts from back in 2008. This should be the winning deck list of Paul Leftin if you played back in those days. That name should ring a bell. Pretty much one of the best players back then, but I think a fairly standard list bar, of course, the Crush card, targets being the Spirit Reaper and the Double DD Crow. So which deck has the advantage? Well, I think Tengu plans should have the advantage, of course, due to the hand traps, Maxi Veiler, although Gladiator Beast do play DD Crow, which is obviously very good against Tengu plans, but yeah, then again, Tengu plans has its extra deck, has access to MVP Stardust, and you know how good Stardust is against Gladiator Beast. So as soon as I see, because I'm playing Tengu plans, as soon as I see the opening, I can go for Stardust and hopefully seal the deal. So let's hop into the first duel. Alright, first game, and kind of blows, the opponent gets to start 6 cards, and he does have that, well, uses Rota to search out for the Stratos, because yeah, he did have double Prisma, but if you opt to go for Stratos, or have the option to summon Prisma, you pretty much always go for Prisma, since you can set up either your Laquari, the 1800 guy, or your Bestiary, and he eventually goes for your Bestiary to set up a possible Gazarus play next turn or later if you have something like Prisma Test Tiger, right? But Stratos definitely wasn't too common, or yeah, it depends if you wanted to main deck Stratos or not. Due to the Lone Fire and Call of the Haunted combination, I go for Dandelion to try to reborn my Lone Fire off of Call of the Haunted, but kind of blows. He does have his DD Crow, and yeah, now it's not looking too great, since Scapegoat, which is set on my side of the field, isn't really too great against Gladiator Beast. Same with the tokens of Dandelion. It's just extra fodder that your opponent can attack with his Gladiator Beasts. So, and yeah, and then after that Furly tag out, he makes I think a crucial mistake is yeah, a very early Solemn Judgment on the Cataster, since we see now that he does have Mirror Force set. So yeah, I know the mindset, maybe he wanted to like Judgment a monster, well, my Cataster, and then hopefully he would try into a Gladiator Beast and then normal summon an attack into an empty field, but still, you see here, the Solemn Judgment would have come in very handy against Stardust, and then I would have been forced to attack into his monster with Cataster, and then he would have Mirror Forced, etc, etc. This is a risky play, but I know where he's going for. You know, Secutor does have the option to get rid of Stardust, but you know, Murmlow has to be chailing 1, and then the other Gladiator Beast has to be chailing 2, so Stardust does miss timing on possibly not to negate Murmlow's effect, but unfortunately for him, I do draw into a second monster to prevent my opponent from using the Mirror Force here. Well, yeah, Monster Reborn on any big monster would do as an extra beat stick, and possible Synchro Father later here in the game. But yeah, I can't get rid of the Reaper, and that kind of blows. The 1-for-1 isn't out, and he again makes a mistake now that I see here the replay. I believe, yeah, we both have a Solemn Judgment set, so the Judgment War is definitely relevant in this matchup. But as you see, he does have Book of Moon, or he had Book of Moon and Torrential Tribute set, so he should have normal summoned this Sangan, or at least, yeah, first Book of Moon my Stardust, normal summon this Sangan, and then use Torrential Tribute, his own Torrential Tribute, to clear the field. I probably would have Judgmented that, and then he would have activated his own Judgment, so again, it would have been a different game, but at least he got rid of my Stardust, or he would have been able to get rid of my Stardust and my somewhat weak field of tokens and Laquari as well. But now, yeah, eventually I can go for Brionek and possibly force out the torrential it was, I think, but Stardust still negating it, and I can attack for a game. So again, some mind games here. It's of course very easy to talk afterwards while we see both hands, right? I opt to go for the tour guide, and the tour guide I believe to go for the huge beat stick in the form of Leviathan. Having a huge beat stick on the field against GB is good, but yeah, I run into any kind of back row like Judgment, Bottomless, etc, etc, so that's one of the reasons why I didn't activate 1-for-1 here, just in case if the opponent had like Bottomless, Trap Wall, etc, etc. And yeah, he does have Secutor. Secutor is such a great card, but it could be dead if you draw it, right? And now, due to Gorse, well, Gorse is really too great against Gladiator Beast, since they will just pop it right during their main phase 2, and this is an excellent board for him. He indeed went for Gizarus to pop both my monsters, and I think to this field, since he's able to negate every spell or trap thanks to Heraklinos by discarding a card from his hand, and I think my only out here was a Debris Dragon, right, with a level 3 monster in my grave, and I think this was a perfect combination to get rid of his field. And yeah, Nexi, it's okay, 1-for-1. In this case to give me more options. And yeah, the second card here to my draw phase was the Book of Moon, so I opt to go for Cataster again and set the Book of Moon. He knows him as Bestiary, good move, and then uses Smashing Ground. I'm not going to use Book of Moon since he does have the Bestiary, and you know Bestiary can attack out for a second copy of Bestiary to pop the back rows, as my back row was always safe, so better to keep the Book of Moon. And I think my only play here was to eventually yeah, power up and go for Stardust Dragon and not go for like Dandelion, get the tokens and go for Army Arm, use Book of Moon on his monster, since again the Dandelion tokens would just be fodder for my opponent to attack, and again Stardust pretty much MVP against the opponent. So now I'm pretty much set to go, have Stardust on my side of the field, and I think the Book of Moon, enemy controller in hand, and Veiler as well, so this is my game. GG, well played. Again, a few mind games, some mistakes on both parts, but again, that's part of the game. That's how this game is played. I mean, it's part of the duels. So yeah, Tengu plans take this one. Kinda expected, you know, the hand traps, access to Stardust. So anyway, guys, that's it. Stay tuned for the next match. Two big names. We have yeah, ABC. The deck list has been changed, and that's paired up against Head. So Hands, Artifact, Traprix, one of the bigger names also here in the tournament. That's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.